Minutes gone past 12 o'clock right here from our beautiful studio located at 267A SMA and Crescent, Victoria Island. We are 99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. Check in with us via the website at www.nigeriainfo.fm. Do well to follow us across our social media platforms at Nigeria Info FM Lagos on IG, that's Instagram. No, on Twitter, formerly X, yes. And of course, at Nigeria Info FM Lagos on Instagram, okay? We are currently streaming online on Facebook and YouTube. All you have to do right now as I speak, if you haven't been following us or if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channels, if you haven't liked our page on Facebook, all you have to do right now is go over to those two platforms after following us on Instagram and on Twitter. So what you have to do is search for Nigeria Info 99.3 on both platforms. All right, like and subscribe to our pages. Do not forget to find me on Instagram and Twitter, formerly X as well. Same handle, KEEN ZAYNAB. That King Zaynab. Do not forget Lagos. When you tweet at Nigeria Info FM on X, do not forget to tag me, okay? Mention me, yes, mention me and tag my handle on Instagram. All right, Lagos, how are you? How are you today? How are you doing today? Because I'm excited. You can tell already. Right, so welcome to Maternity Line Show. My name is Zaynab Yekeen. And guess what? We had a very enlightening discussion session last week on the show when we discussed juice or junk, what your child should really be drinking. Guess what? That conversation has garnered over 4,000 plays, views on Instagram, okay? And the conversation has been ongoing since then. All right, so you might want to check us out as well on those platforms and of course on Instagram, as I mentioned earlier. And you've missed the show. If you have missed the show, perhaps from the beginning of the show, do not worry, just go to the website at nigeriainfo.fm Lagos. I'll be right back right after this time. I'll stick around. Do not go anywhere.
Did you know?
Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
The ancient Romans used to drop a piece of toast into their wine for good health. Hence, why we raise a toast.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
They say truth sets you free. But in a world where news spreads fast and popular narratives shape opinions, how do you separate truth from deception? Introducing Fact or Propaganda, the show that puts the biggest social, political, and media narratives under the microscope.
More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them haven't been to school.
A lot of these young people are not employable.
Every week, we critically analyze narratives shaping our country, separating facts from clever manipulation. Who benefits from these narratives? What's real and what's just propaganda?
Unfortunately, paternity fraud is not a crime in Nigeria. Our laws are silent on this issue.
Join the conversation. Be part of the investigation. Tune in. Join Babatunde Abdusalam every Monday, 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And let's uncover the truth together. Fact or propaganda. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Don't just believe, investigate.
To take control of the money where you they make and wetin go happen next, now the cocoa of life. For plenty people there, how to manage their money, they start with how them they run things with their partner. But true, plenty sense they inside family planning. When you do family planning, you go fit to use Confido, take the run things with your partner under the moon. You go get plenty joy as money where you they make go reach you spend, and your health and your well-being go they protected. No tanda the look, make you join body with plenty people them. We don't discover the joy when they inside of family planning for Lagos. Remember, say you fit to choose from different plans where they available and make everything sweet for your future. Visit your health center today. Oh yeah, make this move now. Make your future day full with happiness and the good health. Now the Challenge Initiative, TCI, and Development Communications Network, DEFCOMS, do this message.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
What's up, Lagos? It's time to turn up. Ringfest Lagos is coming to set your vibe on fire. Join us on May 30th and May 31st, 2025 at Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. Get ready for a drink showcase like no other. Live entertainment, music, and festive vibes. Meet the masters behind your favorite sips and indulge in all the best drinks Nigeria has to offer. We've got an incredible lineup. DJ Neptune, DJ K-Wise, Ultimate Sounds, DJ Bone Marrow, and DJ Beast will keep you dancing all night long. Plus, GKB circus characters and Tribe One performance will have you mesmerized. And hosting the festivities will be the dynamic duo of D.O. to the T.U.N., the Energy God, and Melody Not MIA. Don't miss out on the fun. Get your tickets now at https://tix.africa or follow at DrinkFestLag on Instagram and X or DrinkFest Lagos on TikTok and Facebook for all the exciting updates. Remember, Drink Fest Lagos is for 18 plus only. Drink and enjoy responsibly. It's going to be 2 incredible days of drinks, culture, and entertainment. You won't want to miss this. Get your tickets now and join the fun. Let's make this a night to remember. Drink Fest Lagos is coming, and it's going to be lit.
Be a part of conversations that affect you, mothers, as be a part.
This is
Maternity Line.
Maternity Line.
All right, Lagos, welcome back to the show. It's Maternity Line Show. I am Zaynab Yekeen. In case you are watching us live, you will see that I'm really struggling with my headphone and my hairstyle. I wish this had occurred to me before I came on here. Like, I'm practically struggling with having to place my headphone right and getting my head together. It doesn't happen all the time. I mean, it happened this time around and I have to just deal with it. All right, do not forget, today we are having a very important conversation. First, it's International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. It's a day to remember the thousands of women suffering from one of the most preventable childbirth injuries. Yes, that's the word. Right, childbirth injuries, and that's obstetric fistula. But today we are going beyond awareness. All right, we are talking prevention, because many of these tragedies, let me use that word, can be avoided. And guess what? One powerful solution is something we often overlook, and that's what? FP, family planning. Yes, so the conversation today is ending obstetric fistula, how family planning can make a difference. That's the conversation. And let me tell you something, I do have a guest. I'm not doing this alone but before I introduce my guest, so approximately 3.2 per 1,000 births in Nigeria result in obstetric fistula. That's according to research on how prevalent this is. Also, research indicates that Nigeria records about 12,000 new cases of obstetric fistula each year. That's annually, every year. Now, that's according to a report by The Punch, Nigeria. Now, let's talk about total affected, still according to research, total affected population of women. Now, estimates suggest that between 400,000 and 800,000 women in Nigeria are currently living with untreated obstetric fistula. It might interest you, just in case you haven't heard of this before, or is it even your first time of hearing this? Let me know if this is your first time of hearing about obstetric fistula. Do not forget to be a part of this conversation. The numbers to be a part of this conversation: 0201277093, 0201465790, 0809597580 is the WhatsApp number to drop your message. Now, I do have my guest, and let me introduce her already. My guest is the right person to be on this show today to join the conversation on this International Day to End Obstetric. Obstetric is a mouthful. Obstetric fistula. So joining me today to shed light right on this is Dr. Animashaun Ganiyah Olabisi. She'll help us to understand what obstetric fistula really is, how it affects women, and how family planning can make a real difference in preventing. Dr. Ganiyah Animashaun, are you here with us? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Ganiyah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your patience, for being on the line for some time now. Hello, can you hear me, Dr. Animashaun? Hello.
I can hear you.
Yes, please. Please, you need to keep your mic on this time. Do not mute your mic again because you are already live on the show. Okay? You appear to sound far away. You're far away. You need to come closer. Can you hear me very well?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So let's get to it already. I've read about women struggling with coming down with obstetric fistula after prolonged labor. And I'm wondering, who is at risk of developing it? Are there certain groups of women, or does this happen at the point of childbirth? How can family planning properly help reduce the chances of complication, like when it comes to prolonged labor that often leads to obstetric fistula? So essentially, let's start by understanding obstetric fistula. Dr. Ganiyah.
I'm here with you.
Yes, please. Don't be far away. We don't really have enough time on the show.
Yes, I'm very close to my device.
Okay, you might need to increase the volume of your device, by the way, because you still sound far away, but it's manageable.
Okay, I've done that.
Fantastic. Now, tell us, we've started. What exactly is obstetric fistula? Because
okay. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I've already been introduced. Once again, I'm Dr. Animashaun Ganiyah. I'm a specialist in obstetric and gynecology. And today, I'll be taking us through obstetric fistula, ending obstetric fistula, how family planning can make a difference. So to start with, I would want us to understand what obstetric fistula is.
Right.
And at some point, I'll be using layman terms so that we can all understand what it is.
That's what we need.
Okay. Obstetric fistula is a very common disease that causes maternal morbidity, especially in poor communities.
Morbidity is what? In layman's language, don't forget.
Yes,
Death rate.
So in people who have this poor health behavior, and also in countries that practice reduced or poor obstetric practices. It's also in developing countries, like we have a lot in Nigeria. So as it is, as we speak now, we have about, like Zaynab already mentioned, we have about 2 million cases of patients at hand that have complications of the obstetric fistula.
2 million, you say?
So
not even 800,000.
So before we can even clear them, studies have shown that it would take like 30 to 40 years to clear the backlog of patients that have obstetric fistula. Okay, so what is fistula?
Tell us.
Fistula is an communication. It is an abnormal communication between organs. It is an abnormal communication between organs.
Dr. Ganiyah, your voice is not consistent.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please stay on a spot so we can hear you clearly. You're not consistent. It's rising and falling.
Okay, I'm actually on a point.
Aha, great. Better now.
Am I audible now?
Please, yes, you are.
Okay, so a fistula is an abnormal communication between two surfaces.
Go on.
It is an abnormal communication between two surfaces. So an obstetric fistula is an abnormal communication between two obstetric surfaces. That is the layman term I can use to explain it. With this, I hope we understand what an obstetric fistula is. I'm still going to explain further, but I need us to understand that it is a communication which is abnormal between surfaces. Okay, so going forward, obstetric fistula in obstetrics, we call it, we have different types, but the most common type is the vesical vaginal fistula. Hold on, I would break that down. Vesical means the bladder. Vaginal, it's one of the organs that is mainly found in the female genitals. So we can't find it in males. So what we are saying now is that this condition is peculiar to just the females.
All
and
right.
it's always happen during labor.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. We need to move it quickly because of time. So essentially, obstetric fistula happens during childbirth, right? When there is a prolonged labor, right?
Very correct.
Okay. So that's what doctor has been trying to tell us all this while. Okay. And then doctor, I've read about cases of Nigerian women who lived with obstetric fistula for years. I mean, when I say years, decades of, talking about 20 years, talking about over 10 years, and they've had to endure multiple unsuccessful surgeries. I remember a report from 2016 that I came across, supported from the UNFPA and one other foundation, where one Hafsatu Yunusa had to go through successful repair of surgery, reclaiming her life after 2 decades of suffering. And I'm wondering, I mean, if something like this is happening at the point of delivery, why would someone have to stay on that for 2 decades? So are there some what is it called, difficulties, challenges that may have occurred during that childbirth process, and how could this be avoided?
Okay. Now, going straight to the questions. So obstetric fistula is majorly associated, like I earlier mentioned, it is found among the poor communities.
Poor communities.
Really associated with, it is really associated with low social economic status as a standard. Do you understand? So majorly the risk factors, as in people who usually come down with this condition, are the poor, the illiterate, uneducated people, women, the people who seek health service amongst the quack nurses or the quack. I don't want to use the word nurses.
The midwife neighbors.
Not midwife, as in the quack.
Okay.
People that are not even health workers at all.
All right. Inexperienced midwife neighbors, basically.
People that usually, or most of the time, always come down with obstetric fistula.
Okay.
So this set of people, when they come down with that particular condition, which is the fistula, the fistula itself, it takes a while to get repaired, and it has to be repaired by a professional. One, it is expensive to repair. It involves time. It involves money. It involves finances and every other thing. So they usually lack family support. Now, the risk, especially, I need to mention the risk factors of this obstetric fistula. The risk factors are people who have an early marriage, teenage pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy, broken homes, dropouts. So that at the end of the day, when they become pregnant during labor, they seek care from the traditional birth attendants, or sometimes, like I mentioned, they go to places where they usually do not get attended to properly. So most of the time, at the end of the day, when they have the prolonged obstructed labor, they come down with the fistula, and at the end of the day, they usually find it difficult to seek help. So this had sets of people that come down with the fistula.
All right. Thank you for helping us to break that down. Now, as I said earlier, we need to move it real quick. Now, let's link that to family planning. All right? Are you with me, doctor?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with you.
All right, great. Now, I need us to link that with family planning. I know these are two different subject areas, but when we link, we need to explore the link between unplanned pregnancies, limited access to care, like you rightly mentioned earlier, and the risk of obstetric fistula itself, because every pregnancy should be safe, even though not every pregnancy is planned, right? Now, how can proper family planning reduce the chances of complications like prolonged labor that often leads to fistula, especially in this underserved community that you pointed out?
Okay, so thank you for asking that. So I'm going to bring this family planning under primary prevention. So the most important way or the major way to prevent this obstetric fistula is the primary prevention, which also entails one, educating our girls,
Mm-hmm.
so encouraging them and allowing them, helping them with their education, financing them, letting them understand the implications of early marriages, teenage pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, and all. And also the use of family and the use of contraception. So when they are aware of the use of the advantages of these contraceptives, they do not, and most of the time, they do not come out with unwanted pregnancy. So that alone would help reduce incidence of obstetric. In fact, this is the barest minimum, like
Doctor.
in advanced countries.
All right, Dr. Animashaun, I'm still not 100% okay with the volume, the quality of your audio, but I mean, we will just have to manage it. Let me see if Lagos is actually listening. They could get one or two things from this conversation already. I still have more questions. And one thing I need to ask before I start engaging Lagos, you did mention that we need to start educating our girls. So, what is the age range of these girls you're talking about? Are we talking about girls in their adolescent years who really need to be educated?
Is the audio better now?
Yes, but it's still echoing. In case you are listening to your radio, you might want to shut that radio so we don't get feedback. All right?
Okay.
Aha, we need to do that because I can still get some quick sound in the background. Okay, can we move it now? Yes, I need you to please talk about the age range of girls that need to be educated on about family planning.
Okay, so girls that need to be educated about family planning are girls in their pubertal ages, especially from age above 16 years, because nowadays the new generation of women girls that we have now,
right,
they are exposed to sex at a very early age. So from age above 16, we can start exposing. In fact, as it is, we usually educate secondary school girls because they are also exposed to that. We educate them, we teach them, we lecture them, we create awareness amongst them so that they can be aware of the advantages of contraception. Because actually, we can't really stop them from having sex. So we can only prevent them from having the complications of early sex. One of it is this obstetric fistula.
I feel like we can actually prevent them by giving them the right education they need to they need to know, so that way they are able to discipline themselves. I mean, as a mother myself, you know. So, Dr. Animashaun, I love the fact that you touched on promiscuity as one of the areas people looked at family planning from. Some people still associate family planning with, being promiscuous or infertility fears. Now, how do we counter these myths and facts? How?
Okay, I am aware of the myths associated with family planning, especially with the fact that some people will come to you and tell you that family planning would expose you to cancers, to expose you to having infertility, it could expose you to all sorts, So I think the major ways we can do this is by creating awareness. And we have started that and we continue to do that until we achieve our goal. Okay, so part of it is enlightening our young girls, our teenage girls, post-pubertal ages, and our young women about contraception. So now, I think I would just need to touch some in contraceptive. So the contraception, what is contraception? I need us to understand that it is not, we shouldn't have this kind of stigma when we are on it. It is something that we should be proud of, and we should understand the reason why we are on that contraception. So contraception itself is a deliberate use of various devices, agents.
Talk to us about the methods.
Drugs, sexual practice, or surgical procedure to prevent pregnancy. That's it.
All right.
When we use any of these highlighted to prevent pregnancy is what contraception means.
Okay, so Lagos, in case you're wondering, what have we been talking about? I mean, today is International Day to End Obstetrics Fistula, and then we are also looking at how the use of family planning could make a difference. You might be wondering, this is looking like two different topics. Of course, I know, but hey, they connect well under the umbrella of maternal health prevention and empowerment. And this is why this conversation is very essential today on Maternity Line. Tell us, have you heard of obstetric fistula before today? What do you think communities can do to help affected women? Like Dr. Ganiyah said earlier, the people most affected are the people in underserved communities, So do you also believe fistula is common in Nigeria, or do you think it's been forgotten? Do you think more women would use family planning if it was explained better and available closer to them? What are some of the challenges what are some of the challenges you or people around you have faced or facing when trying to access birth control? There are various methods. I would love for Dr. Khadija to reiterate the method of family planning available once again. Dr. Ganiyah, can you hear me?
Clearly.
Please, in 1 minute, can you tell us some of the various family planning methods available the people might want to go for, based on their doctor advice?
Okay, thank you. So before I list the different
we
types
need
of
to do that in less than 1 minute, please.
Yes. Before I list that, I will need to tell us what an ideal contraceptive is so that we can know the different types.
Let's get to it already. Go on.
An ideal contraceptive, is a contraceptive that is highly effective. It has to be cheap. It has to be independent of intercourse, and it shouldn't have, or it should have very low or reduced side effects. Now we have different types. We have the oral forms of medications. We have the one that uses devices. We have the ones that uses barrier methods, and we have the natural method of contraception. So those are the basic classifications of the different types of contraceptives. The orals, we have the injectables, we have the barrier method, and we have the natural methods. So for the oral contraceptives, basically the two agents that we want to use that involve are the combined hormonal contraceptives, which uses two hormones, the estrogen and the progesterone. That's the combined. So the combined could be in the form of oral. Oral means the one you swallow, the tablets you swallow. It could also come in form of injections. It is also oral, but it comes in form of injections.
Okay.
Then we have the one that uses the devices. Devices are the ones that uses the copper, the metallic ones that we usually insert into the vagina. We also have some that we put on the arm, we insert it also on the arm, and it releases the agents, the ones I mentioned, the progesterone and estrogen slowly.
Right.
Or just the progesterone slowly. And we have the one that uses the barrier method. That's the condom. Remember, condom is not only for the males. We have two types. We have one for the males and we have one for the females. Then we also have the natural method. That's the withdrawal method or the abstinence method.
Okay. All right. Is that the same one as the calendar method?
Now, the calendar method is also part of the natural methods. It's one of the olden methods that they use the calendar to check your fertility period, the ovulation period, and you abstain from sex during that time.
All right. Dr. Ganiyah, I'm tempted to say Dr. Khadija. I have a friend wearing Khadija. She's a doctor. So apologies. So Lagos, I do have a message. Good afternoon, Zaynab. Please, we would need presence of Dr. Animashaun in the studio because this is a vital topic. It's echoing via the app. A Shabalongo from France. Oh, so sorry you're experiencing these. This one is coming from Akinyode. Akinyode says, good afternoon, Zaynab. This is a vital topic, but we need to understand why it's usually termed unsafe. Some of them have been termed unsafe. So how do we tackle these fears so both men and women can jump on this? Thank you, Akinyode. Dr. Khadija, how would you respond to Akinyode's answer? Question or concern. Dr. Animashaun, are you there? Doctor...
I'm here. Am I audible? Am I still
Yes,
audible?
yes, we can hear you. Did you hear Akinyode's concern saying that there are fears around the use of family planning? How do we tackle those fears?
Okay, thank you.
For both male and female to embrace it.
Actually, I need to be frank with you.
Right.
These contraceptives that I earlier mentioned, they have their side effects. They have their advantages and they have their disadvantages.
Okay.
The safest, with no side effect, is the natural method. However, it has a very high failure rate. That's the natural contraception.
So the natural
withdrawal method, the use of calendar,
okay,
all those ones are the natural method. They have no side effects.
So they are less reliable, right?
They are less reliable, but with no side effect.
Okay.
However, the other ones,
the permanent
have very
methods.
high success rate. Very high success rate, but they have their own side effects.
And those are the permanent methods.
Need to mention that part of the natural method is also sterilization. There is this sterilization which has no side effects. The sterilization could be for the males and for the females. For the males, it's called vasectomy. It's a surgical method wherein we ligate, we cut away the vas deferens of the male and it becomes sterile.
All right.
Then for the females, we tie the tube, we ligate and tie the tubes, and the woman becomes sterile.
Okay, that's the tubal ligation.
Tubal ligation, very correct.
Okay. All right, so I understand we still have the likes of IUDs, that's intrauterine devices, the implants and the rest of them. We've had that discussion on the show before now. Lagos, if you have more questions on this, do not forget to direct your questions to Maternity Line Show. And don't worry, I'll get doctors like Dr. Ganiyah to respond to your questions. Keep it date Fridays, 1:15 p.m. And we have to call it a day today. Dr. Ganiyah, thank you so much for your time today on the show. If you would love to listen to this show again, go over to www.nigeriainfo.fm to have a feel of this conversation once again and several other conversations up there. Dr. Animashaun, thank you so much for your time once again.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling me.
All right, Lagos.
I'll always be there for you.
All right, thank you. Lagos, we have to go. It's time for the news at 1 and our Oluwatifemi Boluwatifemi is live in the studio to hook us up all with what's going on around the world. Stay here.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.